They're just playing really well. They're playing free, and D'Angelo Russell's scoring the basketball very well, and Dinwiddie coming off the bench scoring it very well. And they're missing a couple guys, but other guys have stepped up really well.
What do you think the biggest area of improvement for this team could be right now?
Which team?
Their team.
We've been trying to get locked in better at the defensive end. We've made some progress. Took a step back there against Charlotte, but felt like against Detroit we were better, and it was one of those grit and grind games. We had kind of in Memphis, and defense held us in there, and we kept coming, we kept running. It was certainly a big win for us.
Is it hard to keep that defensive message going when you're playing so quickly?
Yeah, it's hard to serve both. To be a team that gets the other team to play deep into the clock, I'd rather they just hurry up and shoot it, and I think our guys would too, so we can get up and down the floor a little bit.
You talk about grit and grind. Obviously, the pace you guys play is much different than that. Do you play that style because of the players you have, or because it's just the way the NBA game is nowadays that everyone's got to play that way to some extent?
No, I disagree with that last part, but for us, it's what best fits us. In 2 weeks before the season, so I worked on it all summer trying to figure out how can I develop all these guys at the same time, the young guys, and made a priority list, and the list for me was De'Aaron Fox. And I think he can be great. And how do we best use his skills? And that is to play fast and to play open. So put in Iman in the starting lineup gave us a lot more space. And then also who does that serve by doing that? What are the ramifications of that? And for that, I think Willie Cauley-Stein's a terrific runner and a rim runner and a pick and roll player. And Buddy Hield has benefited from finding shots in transition by playing this fast. And it's given us an identity, something to hold on to as we continue to develop our guys.
When you say you disagree, you can still play an older style, kind of, but you don't have to play fast necessarily?
No, I disagree that everybody has to do it in the league at some extent. I don't think every team does have to do that.
Coach, how do you assess Marvin's rookie season so far and what he's brought to this team?
Extremely talented. He just absorbs knowledge, and he's got a great natural feel for individual improvement and picking up team schemes as he goes. Games are still going really fast for him. Tremendous upside. I think he's going to be special. I love him. I'm not trying to bring him along slow. I'm just trying to pick his matchups. He's coming off an injury also, but what do we look like? What does it look like when we play him? How can we play to his strengths, which is getting the basketball on the post, getting the basketball at the elbows. He's only going to get better and better. I'm a big fan.
How impactful has Iman Shumpert been this season, both on the court with his play and off the court as a culture guy, veteran guy?
He's a good defender and leads by example as a defender, and usually makes the right plays. That's good, so we don't get crazy wild all the time, and he settles us down. So he's been very positive.
Dave, a big part of this Nets recent turnaround has been winning close games, and anecdotally, that's been something that your young group has struggled with. What are the challenges of teaching a group of young guys to close out close games like that?
Yeah, I think our record is among the top 3 or 4 in the league in close games, so I disagree with that. But our guys have learned by playing in close games, and I think that's only going to pay off in the next couple of years.
What can you learn in that environment in those crunch time settings?
What is a good shot, what isn't, is even more at a premium. Making sure you're solid in your coverages, communication, and especially, a lot of teams are running pick and rolls more so than ever, and then also to get certain matchups that they're looking for to get switches and stuff like that. So, we've got a long ways to go with our experience, and we're happy with our group that they just keep learning and grabbing onto stuff, and a competitive group too. They like to compete. It's fun going down the stretch and playing in close games. Certainly, you'd rather win going away, but I think those are great opportunities for us, and they're going to serve us very well, over the next couple of years.
How's De'Aaron progressing as far as knowing when to pick his spots defensively, and do you kind of work with him as far as this is when I need you to pick it up more, maybe pick up full court and things of that nature?
Depends. I mean, there's times in games, he's taking a lot of hits. People trying to hit him, and it's no secret. If you want to take the speed guys' legs away, you gotta screen him as much as possible. So so there's times where he's banged up a little bit, but he's also such a competitor that he really has a good feel for when we can push that pressure out a little bit, depending on how many minutes we're running and then what kind of stretch we're in as well.
What are some parts of Buddy's game that might not have been there last year that have kind of popped off the page this season for you guys?
He's getting more shots. That's good for us. Playing faster has been good for him. he's learning to play with the pass and become a screener and a cutter because people stay in his body so well. And that just takes time and experience. And you look at a guy like Klay Thompson, and what he's able to do away from the ball, and you're like, how did you leave him open? Well, if you didn't leave him open because he's learning how to set screens and back screens and coming off of other actions, you're going to give up a layup, especially in the way that the court is as spread as it is now in the NBA. So those subtle things, he's really good at.
It is a young team. Are they ready to kind of get to a playoff race right now, do you think?
I hope so. I mean, I think that attacking it with the mindset of being in it and trying to make it, whether we make it or not, and I certainly hope we do. That's our whole focus. Is very teachable for hopefully the next time that we're in that race. And I think it also gives you anchor points to draw back to as a coach. When, as a young team, you might have caught a team on the second of the back-to-back and you play them, a week later or 10 days later, and you think maybe it might be easy. And then you can refer back to that a year from now or 2 months from now, and that learning point is, hey, they had a tough stretch and had no legs that night, and don't take these guys lightly. Let's be ready to play and have our focus locked in, just as one example. And those things matter when you look back over the course of the season in a playoff race.
What kind of improvement have you seen from Justin Jackson this year?
He's getting more comfortable. The game's slowing down for him defensively. There's defensive game plans and defensive personnel to consider, and he's getting to see guys, especially in the West. You look at it and say, 6th, 7th, 8th time that he's played Durant or something. It's not like you can stop that guy. I'm not saying that, but just as an example for him to, maybe these are some of his tendencies, or I'm better with my skills and my length to be able to try to do this to that guy or this guy. And I think those things are positive. And he's been shooting basketball very well for the last couple of months also. I think that's, it's a positive reinforcement of a made basket. I think that's very positive.
Thanks, folks.
Man.